good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the WTRL team time trial number 113. We're out on the greatest London flat for one lap, 31 kilometers. It's going to be fast, going to be furious. It's going to be just solo Nathan today. My usually co-patriot is out jet setting, doing some awesome work for Zwift. I'm really excited to see what kind of productions actually come out of what Dave is up to, actually. So a little bit more of a peek into some of the community that's out there as well, I think is going to be coming. So I'm excited about that. But it's solo Nathan for the day. So I'm depending on you guys to hang out with me and chat actually a little bit. Bring some extra commentary today to the broadcast. Now we are in with the mochas today. That is going to be the B pens for both Vienna as well as the mixed category. We do have one feature out here as well today. Now, I do want to just jump right in, though, to our poster competitions for the week. We did have 3 pretty good ones, actually. I really enjoyed the England Cycling Club threw at us something pretty fun here with a little bit of England in the background. In golf team time trial team, I really like it that they took the characters here and put the little faces on the head, obviously coming from toys here. So pretty cool to see that. And then we've got, of course, the Dirty Chronicle here, killing it as usual, featuring Featherstone and Butler. I'm loving the take here on Sherlock Holmes. I hope we do better on Thursday than we did in this movie. Wait a second. Now, the shots fired at what seems to be a pretty good. I'm gonna just leave that one alone. I mean, what's the opinion? I guess maybe there's a different opinion across the pond. I'm not sure, but Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, nice job with the Chronicle. And then, as always, and since they are in the category that we are covering, I always absolutely love the feature. Who also they do help out in the background as well a little bit too. The Owls and the Faster After 50 crew, TTT together. They say it's not flat, it's 15%. There's some 15% out there. Where? Oh, the 15% out of the... Okay, I actually didn't pick up on this until I just looked at the graphic and asked myself the question. That section, of course, has a 15% gradient on it when you leave the underground. So it isn't all flat out there, that's for sure. You also do hit up the Surrey Hills for just a moment. You don't head into the actual hills themselves, but you do get some of the lower slopes out there. Absolutely love this crew, and I love the descending order there. The Wendy all the way down to number 53. I can't really read though in the productions here the last one on there at 53, but maybe I can get something a little bigger here. It's gonna be Catherine. So loving the Faster After 50 Owls. Awesome crew out there. We do see the chat coming on in. Christopher, good to see you over on the Facebook stream. If you are on the YouTube stream or the Twitch stream, we will be watching those places as well. Now, in with the mochas today, we do have I believe the Vikings are already in. Cryogen are already out on course, as well as GC Eagles. So we're just going to jump right on in with their start to their race now, and start getting some of the time splits as they do come on in. We do have for time splits out here today. Across the board, it will be coming in at the 8K, 16K, and 24 kilometer mark. So those will be the sections that we should be getting some of these splits to come on in. GC, I believe that we should be able to grab some of their splits here in just a moment as we look to see where the first one's in for. This is going to be the lattes here. And I believe we'll need an update on this in just a moment, as it is missing a few graphics. We'll see if Mr. Martin can help us out with that. But it's going to be Giant Camden living on a prayer at 22.3 in so far. Now, if you don't understand the graphics at all, or if we haven't really gone through a walkthrough of these too many times, but there is actually a ton of information that WTRL is providing on this graphic. The start order that they go in is actually next to their name in brackets. So the first ones to get out on course, we have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way descending down to 11, actually, for the Sumatran Rhinos. Now, there's probably a jump in between them there because maybe some of them didn't show up in the pens this week. It also shows how much is left to go to the finish. 22.3 left for Giant Camden at the last time that they checked in with the data markers. And then obviously you are going to see each one of the markers for the time splits that we will be getting 8:16. There it is, 13:44 for Giant Camden, bringing it on in for the Mocha's first ones across that 8-kilometer marker. And then the other things that maybe some of you didn't notice is the little green part of that with the number on it there. That is whether or not they have started. If it's green, they're out on course. If it's red, they actually have finished, and the number in there is how many riders have started with them today. So Giant Camden, according to this, has started with 4 riders, the minimum that you need to actually be out there. So they may be having a kind of a rough day out here today. We'll see how it ends up playing out for them. But with only 4 riders, it does make things a little bit more difficult. That means, depending on the polls, at 30-second polls for teams that I jump in with, a lot of times that's about all you can. Well, depending on the team and what you guys have planned, though, sometimes we've seen up to 1-minute polls, maybe even more if you have really, really strong riders. Some teams actually divide up amongst how strong the riders are, so they'll pull for more than a minute, 2 minutes at a time, and then have other riders pull through for just the times that they possibly can. But usually it's 30 seconds, which means these riders are only getting a minute and a half rest before they need to go again. And a lot of times at way over threshold, into just threshold, that makes it a very, very difficult day for a lot of the riders out there. Now, again, if you are hanging out with us in chat here, make sure to bring on in. Nobody started at 9 minutes in Mocha. We're hearing from Gordon Sloan. Yeah, I think that's probably why we are seeing that little bit of a gap there. I have a feeling that we actually are missing 2 or 3 teams in between there, between Z-Sun, Nebula, and RR Sumatran Rhinos here. HDR Cheesecakes pod TTT in an hour's time. Any tips coming in from Steven? Or yeah, of course. But what do you want? I mean, there's so many tips. I don't even know where to start. I mean, specifically on this course, Stephen Nort, I would say that the main thing about this course is that the back end of the course is definitely going to gain you a ton of time if you can keep things together, and then you want to sacrifice your riders mainly as soon as you hit those Surrey Hills. If nobody can hang on, don't come over the top of there with 4 or 5. If you can't, obviously you need to have the minimum 4. But if anybody can't hang on through that point, I would be sacrificing riders at that point, because you do have 2 punchers. And because of that, when you do hit the Surrey Hills and you do that climb, and then it's a crazy descent, you want to come over the top of there as much speed as you possibly can, and then ramp that roller coaster up with riders through. After that, when you do hit the underground and there's that 15% gradient, anybody who is like just barely hanging on over the top of Surrey, they're already going to be gassed, and you're going to have to wait for them again once they come out of that underground. So there's not a whole lot of advantage. You're going to lose more time most likely than you'll gain, unless you're dropping more than 2 or 3 riders and you've just got to wait up. If you end up with 5 or 6, you can still have a lot of firepower. Even 4 it gets a little bit risky with how much landscape you do have left to have into the red road. But, with how much time that's left there, it is a pretty good amount of time over to the mall. But I think with 4 riders, you can still get it done. If you can bring 5, great. Bring them all if you can. Sacrifice, team members, though, at that point, in my opinion. The other thing that I would definitely say is that the little uphill grinds on here are extremely important. If you can time it, that these 2% little gradients, because there's lots of little undulations here, and if you're looking to try and win out here, these little punchers, if you put somebody on the front that's 1 watt per kilogram less than your strongest rider, you're going to lose time on them. So, if you can anticipate those little sections that do have these little bumps and put somebody on the front that can push a little bit more without dropping everybody, you're going to gain seconds on each and every section of the course that's like that. The other thing that's pretty obvious is keep a straight line. Don't overlap each other. Don't do the elbows. I'll try and point that out a little bit more and get maybe a little bit more into the technical side of things here with the TTT to give everybody an idea of how things work with the drafting algorithm as well. But I appreciate the question. If you got any more questions, make sure to bring them on in as we do go out through our coverage here. I actually do. Our featured team out here today is going to be Cryogen. And they actually sent me a little Um, they actually sent me a way to say this name that's in here, and Cascades, I think, is what it's going to be, but I need to. I'm just going to bring it up. I'm just going to bring up the YouTube. I think that they sent me for how do you even say the name of this team, as I think it's definitely going to be a difficult one for me here. And it'll be kind of fun just to give a little insight here. Khakis. So here's the YouTube that they sent on through. See if I can bring in the uh no, this is a really long video actually. So I thought it was just gonna be one of those videos that just said, "Oh, here's how you say something real quickly." Uh, and I'm seeing a lot of comments coming through. People just pronounced it cake. Cat Kaki is what I'm gonna say, kaki, but I'm probably way off here actually. So we're gonna see if the anybody in the chat can help me out with it as well. Martin might be able to do it for me. I think Martin actually has shown up. Martin, you want to give me a pronunciation of this name for this Cryogen team? Give me a thumbs up, and we'll bring you on in for just a moment. But I've got no idea on this one. But they are going to be the team that we are in with today. It's going to be Lisa the Roadrunner, Todd Seaman, Emma Porter, Andrew Cotton, as well as Leslie and Rob Lee. Now, a pretty cool thing about this team and the information in the background is the Khakis, they got into the Premier League Mocha, and they're a no-drop team, though, which is really cool, I think, is that their team is focused on sticking together and encouraging each other. Lisa Sridley, she actually created the Team Roadrunner, but passed it off to her husband as a captain, and then built the Khakis team from all injured riders. Some were prior Cs who either got COVID and struggled with a prolonged comeback, car accidents, had surgery. I mean, there's a lot of different injuries that they're coming through for right now. So it's pretty awesome to see that they are working together to get stronger after these injuries that they've had. The team is enthusiastic, gives it everything, and finally regaining some of what they've lost. They generally don't look out for results, but just sticking together and encouraging whoever is struggling is really what their win is all about. So they think maybe with fewer teams they've been able to hit into the top 12, but either way, they've made it into the Platinum League. This is the top end of the Mocha category, and they are competing. And they were actually not the first team to go out, so they didn't have the slowest time. They didn't just edge in; they actually got in at least for second seed. So it's pretty cool to see. Now and I'm loving her name, Beep Beep Roadrunner, for Lisa out here. Now for the Robert Lee, this guy, from what I'm seeing, is a new Cat C that loves reading the back of jerseys. Expertise is master of fun, I'm hearing. Now the other thing that I've heard about this team is that they're so chatty that they were like they it's pretty wild, I guess, in their Discord channel where they're just hanging out chatting with each other a whole lot. The Robert Lee's his in real life experience for racing is watching YouTube. He did a Century Life for Diabetes tour to cure first year of cycling. In his first year of cycling, once parallel parked an in-train in the rain with no assistance. So that's his in real life experience. I mean, these guys are hilarious. I'm absolutely loving it. Now, Martin, I do see that you do have your microphone working, I believe. Can you hear me there, Martin?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, are you going to help me out with this pronunciation? Do you got this pronunciation?
Is this for the Cryogen team?
The Cryogen team, yeah. Is it? I'm saying like the pants, like khakis. That's what I'm saying, and I'm probably so far off.
I believe it's cake, or as I would just call it, cake.
That's what I thought as well. So, all right, well, we'll see if chat corrects us here. I have a feeling there's going to be a whole lot of people saying, I'm not sure about that, but we'll see what they have to bring through here. Stephen, or thanks a lot, appreciate it, no worries. Martin, appreciate that. We'll maybe bring you in for productions here a little bit more as we got Dave jet setting it out there. So now we'll come back to our featured team in just a moment. I'm going to go back through some of the other teams before we continue on. But This is going to be the team that we are jumping back and forth with to learn more and more about them. Now, they are being chased down by TV, the Vikings. I believe this is going to be the Vikings team out here, as they do usually use the Amgen Tour of California kit as their main kit in game. Valhalla Dragvendel is currently sitting in third place, trying to chase down Engulf. They're at a 13:22, and that is going to be who is in front of us right now with TV, because I can tell they went out third out on course. Sumatra Rhinos are walking away with it, as they have many a times. We'll see if they can increase their lead over Engulf, who are at a 13:10 at the moment. Going to keep on moving our way backward here, though, as we do have the big ring TBR, Hawkins, Pierce, McCarthy, Hartfield, as well as Thorne, hammered away. A little bit of it up and out of the saddle there from Pierce to try and grab back onto a wheel. It does look like Thorne out of South Africa is pushing 183 beats per minute right now. 72 RPMs, as you can see. So quite the big gear here coming from the man on the Factor. And interesting bike choice here. Perhaps a little bit lower level Zwifter with that bike choice, I'm going to maybe assume, as the Factor with the Zwift dish wheels, whereas the man on the Canyon here, Hawkins behind him from the TBR coming out of Wales, he is going to most likely be a little bit higher. So you can kind of tell when you take a look at the bike selection and what kind of level you have to be at in order to grab them, as well as the drops that are needed for them. Now, as you can see, coming on through Hawkins here, 261. Now, being in the Mocha category, if you're unfamiliar with the categories for the WTRL, they do not use the regular category system A, B, C, D, or E. They actually use coffee classes, and the coffee classes then go across for correspond in some way to those categories that are A, B, C, and D, but they use their own classes. And part of the reason that they do that is to separate things out a little bit for the timings for when everybody will finish. So the fastest of the fast is going to be the espressos, or dopios at the top of the men's, dopios and espressos. The Vienna espresso then for the women. From there, you do move down to the frappes. That would be equivalent to a B category, then the lattes, and then the mochas. So we are in the mochas, and so anyone in the mochas over threshold, right around their threshold, will be 2.5 watts per kilogram will be their threshold. As you can see, Hawkins here coming over the top of that 2.5, 2.8, 2.9 a little bit here as he pushes on, and the riders sitting in are going to be around that 1.5 up into 2.5 or so to be hanging on. Thorne here struggling a little bit, 176 beats per minute. So as you do look at these numbers on the right-hand side of your screen, they're going to give you a lot of information about where the riders are at. And if you kind of think about that 2.5 watts per kilogram, that's going to be your marker to tell you whether or not they're at threshold, below threshold, or over threshold. And on the front there, Hawkins pushing over the top. Pierce now up in that 3.8 from the TBR, 162. I think maybe one of the stronger riders on the team, perhaps. And looking through, as I'm hearing from Martin, Martin, go ahead and tell me what you're talking about here. Help me out here. Why don't you just go ahead and tell me, because I'm wondering what these messages, doppio, espresso, frappe, and latte mocha, talking about the number of peoples in the team.
Yeah, so the way obviously the TTT is designed to allow mixed category teams. So each of the coffee classes has a limit on the highest rider allowed in that team. So a doppio team can have as many A+ riders as they like, no limitations. Espresso, no more than 3 A+ riders in the team. The rest of the team can be any other category, B, C, D, whatever you want to do.
Ouch! Imagine that. Ouch! Like, You throw in 3 A+ riders, and then you just put in like 5 of other, but it's not even espresso. You're just like, oh my gosh, suffering.
Well, here's a story for you. Back in the very early days of the TTT, the first one I actually raced, I raced with an espresso team. Now, anybody who knows who I am, I'm a former rugby player. I'm 6'8". I'm not the lightest guy in the world because weight is important for rugby. And I am a C rider, and I was clinging on to the four A and A plus riders that
Oh
were
my
in the team,
goodness.
and I managed to hold them for one lap of Volcano Flat, and it was a 3 lap race. So I spent the last 2 laps on my own.
Absolutely suffering, it sounds like, but oh
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good fun.
So
So
you can
yeah,
mix them up. You can mix them up a little bit. You can have three riders that are from the category above. Is that what you're saying essentially?
yeah, something else. So, if as we're focusing on Mocha today, a Mocha team is not allowed to have more than 3 Cs, and certainly nothing any higher than that in the team. And the rest of the team would be made up with all Ds. Vienna's slightly different. Vienna is allowed as many Cs as they like, but if they bring a B in, they would get moved up to Vienna Latte, if that
Gotcha.
makes sense.
Yep, makes sense, makes sense. And that's all tracked in the background, obviously, for where people line up and what they're producing in game for the watts per kilogram, obviously, and then the upgrades happen. It would sound like pretty automatically.
Hmm. Yeah, it is. It's all handled automatically via software these days. In fact, from our early days where it was pretty much pen and paper.
Spreadsheets? Sitting there with
Yeah.
spreadsheets. Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. All right, we're starting to get some times in. Thanks, Martin. If we got more questions coming through, we're bringing them out in. We've gotten the inside scoop here from WTRL themselves here. As you can see, Engulf have come through with a 25.39, 25.49 from Valhalla. TFC Hurricane trying to chase things down. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It looks like, though, our Sumatran Rhinos going to have their work cut out for them is going to be the question. The battle between Engulf and Valhalla, though, is there for second and third. Maybe for first as we wait for the Sumatran Rhinos to come on through. TBR Renegades is who we're looking at. They have a 26-26 on the board at the moment. Cryogen, calling them cakes. And it's because Martin says it's cakes. Martin's almost always right. Martin needs to go look up and listen real quickly at how do you pronounce that. Giant Camden living on a prayer is there at a 26.55. Smudge Ryan's waiting for them, and Z-Sun Nebula are waiting for them as well. As they only have 3 riders, though. Nebula going to have a tough day, perhaps. Let's jump back in with our featured team as it's going to be over quickly. I was seeing a little bit of apology there coming from the Roadrunner Beep Beep herself, and we're wondering if perhaps she was pushing them as she was saying sorry. Look at this slingshot coming through, though. Oh, man. It's going to be Seaman now on the front, hammering for this Cryogen team right now. Let's go ahead and see if we've got some more information. This is going to be Todd Seaman. He's a Cat D rider, ZRL. Mount Lemon since season 1. He says, I'm good going downhill. No in real life racing, lots of in real life riding. Bike commutes to work. He says his wife and kids are very supportive of his Zwift habit. Unless it's dinner time, then my kids, Grace 18 and Daniel 20, want to know how much longer I'm riding and when I will be starting dinner. Absolutely love it. I can relate, Sheeman, that's for sure. He says he had his ACL replaced in December. The khakis, I'm going to call them khakis. Actually, all of Cryogen Zone 14 have been awesome. From what we're hearing here. Let me see if I can get a little bit more across here as I'm losing a little bit of it here. We're seeing awesome about keeping him motivated to ride and improve. They have always encouraged him to ride, even told them he would slow down. They would slow down for the team. They consistently said it's about people and have more fun more than about getting a particular place in the race. His improvement is mostly due to trying to keep up with the ladies on this team who climb away from us when the roads start going up. And we can see that playing out in front of us maybe a little bit at the moment as Emma Porter, another one of our feature riders, continues on to press the boys a little bit here. Emma's a Cat C, very minimal experience, been Zwifting for 1.5 years. Well, minimum experience maybe outside, but maybe a whole lot of experience inside. She's got 1.5 years racing or riding out on Zwift. No in real life experience. Let's count to being chased by magpies on the NZ road. Sounds like she is from the land down under. As you can see the New Zealand flag there on the right-hand side of the screen there, just above the 20.4 kilometers that she has completed. Started MTB for adventure racing. Right down my alley. Good to hear it, Emma. Absolutely awesome. Her husband, Darren, and 2 daughters, Carly, 8, Aisha, 6. Definitely future Zwift racers. That's absolutely awesome. Good to see. Oh, Lee walking away here. And this is what we're talking about here. They definitely encouraging each other on. It's great to see, and one of their goals is to all finish together, from what we hear. I'm seeing the family eggs her on and make her work harder. Husband accepts my Zwift habit and slowly trying to bring him over to the dark side. I don't know. I think this is the light side. You're a Jedi warrior here, Emma. That's what I'm gonna say. As she continues on and presses to catch up to Mr. Rob Lee, just a little bit ahead of the pack here at this point. Now, looking through his short while after joining Zwift, she got accepted to Cryogen. Huge thanks given to here in. Let me see if I'm not sure if I know the names here, but from what we're seeing here, huge thanks to Marwin and Lisa, who took me under their wing and let me join the TTT team Roadrunners. And that was the team that Lisa had started, Beep had started actually, and then passed off to her husband. As this is this is actually a different team for injured riders, which is, I just absolutely love this story. Without their help and guidance, I would not be who I am today. I absolutely love Zwifting now and owe it to them. Fun fact, I do enjoy rum after any race. Ouch, that's quite the recovery drink. Oh my goodness. Now, what's really cool, everyone in chat, let us know if you've got similar stories. And I mean, we love these features because that was obviously really heartfelt. And to hear someone say, when you hear the words, a testimony like that, I would not be who I am today without these people, without this influence. That's always as real as it gets. So absolutely loving the story that's coming from Cryogen. And, you see this again and again with each one of these brands out here that have developed through the Zwift world. So really, really cool to see. Coming on through with a 26:45. They're in a hot battle here with Giant Camden living on a prayer, and they are living on a prayer. 10 seconds is the difference. The whole team's going to have to work together to make this happen. They've got, it looks like, what is this? Going to be 6 still coming to the line in just a little bit. They've got, plenty, about 5K, 6K to go. No, excuse me, it's 31. They actually have 9K to go. There's a lead in on this one, as I forgot. They are about to hit that 15% gradient that the Owls were complaining about a little bit out there. Not the greatest London flat. Let's see how they take on this 15% gradient in just a moment. It's going to be led out by the Roadrunner herself, hammering away right now. They're about to catch GC, actually, and that's a good sign for them because that's who they were in a battle with. And, this section that we just saw, exactly what I was talking about here. We saw earlier in the broadcast this question that came through, and I think we just had it answered for us. Where can you gain a ton of time on this course? It is going to be the Surrey's Hill, a little bit of a climb into that Surrey's Hill section. You really hammer right there. Take a lot of bodies with you onto the downhill. You're able to descend with a lot of snowball effect. Get that roller coaster going, and look at this. It was only 10 seconds before. Now they've made up a ton of time. Absolutely cool to see here, and lot of work to be done here from Giant Camden in just a moment. Now we are seeing Seaman here, a little bit of a kick, and Rice now gapping his teammates. It's all mixed up. Cryogen need to hammer past them. They are going to be waiting up most likely for Cotton here as he jumps across. It looks like Leslie also on the wheel. I have to take a look at the course records here in just a moment. We are looking at Andrew Cotton, and then we'll bring in the course records. Andrew Cotton, he's a Cat D. Like many, I started Zwifting, he says, sometime in March of 2020 last year, so came in through the pandemic. Found Cryogen in February of 2021, so very recent ad, and raced with Mount Lemon. After his first season, obviously I'm thinking that's going to be with the Zwift Racing League with Mount Lemon. Wanted more, so he joined the Khakis Thursday. TTT. Not many are in life in costumes, but have been racing in Saskatchewan for many years. They're obviously up in Canada. Race with the Northern Bush Rastas, NBR and MTB, loving it. Bruce's cycle works for cyclocross, so a lot of dirt. Great to hear, Andrew. Maybe I need to come visit, or we'll see you out at maybe some sort of international event. I've always raced as a novice, he says, with all of my pandemic Zwifting. I'm looking forward to moving up a category or two in real life, and that's a common story that we hear a ton with the amount of fitness that people are getting through the platform. Absolutely great to see. It looks like they are welding things back together here for Cryogen. It was a little bit of struggle as they got through Giant Camden, but it does look like they've obviously able to hang on to that 10 seconds or more at this point. The question is, will they bring back any time over TBR? I think it's right on the edge with TBR, and TBR are looking to having to slow down a little bit. And because of this, McCarthy off the front, Hartfield now 2 seconds back. But here's the question. Look up ahead of them. 5 seconds is all that they have gained at this point, according to the riders list nearby. 125 on Cotton, as you can see. McCarthy, that we are selected here at this point, 127. They are losing time at this point. As we look at the last checkpoint, it was a full 19 seconds at the last checkpoint. So 6th, 7th, Cryogen versus TBR Renegades. They said they weren't the strongest team. I don't know. I think they found a little bit of motivation in the legs today for our featured team. And a lot of times that's what a little bit of TV time will do for you. As Beep Beep continues on the front here, 3.0 watts per kilogram, 171 beats per minute, battling right now for a 6th place against the Renegades. Not sure that Z-Sun Nebula are within striking distance. Hurricane, they're up at that 26-13. Smash and Rhinos walking away as they have many a times. They were the number 1 seed coming on in, the 11th to go on out. And Gulf are not going to be catching them. It's actually a battle for second as Valhalla now just coming in at their 24K mark at 39.23. But they're in a battle with Gulf. Our Sumatran Riders, I think, going to be the fastest team regardless out there today. Now, the course records, everybody. This is where things are currently standing for the course record. Let's see if we can actually bring these in. We might have to wait on those for just a moment. No, here we go. We got them. So course records today that we are looking at, it is going to be Vienna Espresso 41.51. Absolutely fine with socks for Watts WRT. That's going to be a tough one to beat. I believe that is going to be when they were really working together over the last fall. There was a lot last fall, even spring, summer into fall. There was some pretty solid results from WRT. I have a feeling that that's when it was coming from. Revo Dynamite came through with a 43.38 for a course record. Z-Sun Quasar and the Vienna Lattes 47.39. And then we also have, it looks like, for the Vienna's Dutch Diesel Cycling Atomic Spice. That might be more recent because Dutch Diesel Cycling, they are, I believe, a newer team this past winter. Doppio, wow, Indoor Specialist STPC. They missed a set that a long time ago, I'm wondering, because that team, I haven't seen them in the Thursday TTT in quite a while. Martin, wow. So I'm hearing, Martin, go ahead and talk to us about that. I am seeing this, but that's pretty awesome. I mean, Sarsa Pros Closet. I mean, that's an old time. It looks like set a while ago.
Yeah, 24th of October 2019. So yeah, it's 18 months plus old. And
we weren't even covering the TTT at that point.
No, you weren't. Saracen the Pros Closet actually raced this morning in Zone 1. They were a little bit off their time, but Cryogen came within 10 seconds of that course record.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So, wow, Saracen Pros Closet. Interesting that they're jumping into the races right now. Very cool to see. Speaking of seeing people who are jumping into the races, I'm probably going to see some people tonight. The Toad starts, and I've got messages from all kinds of Zwifters. Tour of America's Dairyland, if you didn't know, is a pro tour that happens in Wisconsin on a yearly basis, and it is starting tonight in Janesville. If you want to come and meet up and watch some racing, I'm going to be out in the Pro 1-2 race as well tonight. And I guess we got to meet up on Sunday in support of veterans as well. And at Mama D's in Delafield, if you want to check that out and ride with a bunch of Zwifters on Sunday, 10 a.m. meet up at Mama D's in Delafield, Wisconsin. So a lot going on with Zwifters. I think also Pro Nationals are happening here in the USA this weekend. There's going to be a ton of people who are in the Zwift community there as well. So be on the watch out. Thanks for the update there on what's going on with these records. So really appreciate that. Kiss with Finesse there, as you can see, coming with the 39.25. Then it's R3R Fleetwood Mac, Lattes Team Type 1 Lancets, and Dirt Power for the Mochas. So that is the current course records out here today. We're still in with our featured team. We got a few more of the riders to chat about out here. One, I believe that, Emma Porter, we actually didn't get through all the information, I don't believe, here for the Kiwi Porter, who makes it really difficult on the boys going uphill from what I'm hearing. And we're seeing what else is happening here? Short while after joining Zwift, she got accepted to Cryogen. Huge thanks. Okay, we did go through a little bit of that here. The Khakis are a fantastic group, she says. Not only are they moving up in the category, but they have become much better racers, I'm hearing, as a lot of the riders that are hanging out with her. Excuse me. I'm hearing. Excuse me. I'm on a different rider here, trying to keep track of a lot of information. Actually, I'm still on with Andrew. That's who we were in with. So the Canadian. Seeing, it says that his beautiful wife surprised him with a tax flux, actually, for his 40th birthday. Also pulled him off the couch 12 years ago to go biking with her and her friends. I'm still doing all this to impress a girl. Well, that's a lot of motivation. That's a lot of motivation, Andrew. Good to see. Good to hear. And that's the most important impressions, I think, that you can make. Right, Andrew? So great job. Says that he's terrified of road racing and never found drafting in real life. As such, he treated every event like a time trial. Oh, come on. Hold the wheel, Andrew. So I bet you, Mr. Cotton here enjoys this because he can run right through wheels in game here. Doesn't have to worry too much about that. The Khakis showed him how to go much faster as a group. They're an incredibly supportive team, and they're dedicated to bringing up newer riders. This is definitely one of the teams that we love to have around. In the relatively short time that he's been riding with them, we've watched many of the teammates improve. Not only are they moving up in their category, but they have become much better racers. Favorite recovery drink is, oh my goodness, is a shower beer. That's got to be That's interesting. Is it that difficult that you just sit in the corner of the shower and drink a beer? That's definitely an interesting recovery, but good to see and good to hear. I don't know if it's the best one. The coach would probably get on you about that. That's for sure. At least this coach would. Anyways, plenty of others to go through still here, as we've got now Leslie. I think that'll be the last one, though, that did actually give us some information. They do got to shut this down. Losing some time right now at this point. And if we do bring in the current times, Cryogen, as we saw earlier, they caught the Giant Camden, and they have broken away from them pretty well here at this point. TBR Renegades, though, maybe out of striking distance as they struggled to keep the six together a little bit here. Now Leslie goes to the back after taking a little bit of pull to try and weld this together. We'll see if it makes it happen. It does look like they're going to bring all six back together. Good on them. Now, in with Leslie here, Todd's good at downhill. And so is this going to be Leslie Seaman? I'm wondering here. I'm not positive if there's a relation, or maybe this is just a teammate thing. But Todd's good at downhill, but I'm better. I'm a D. What more is there to say? That's her racing experience. In real life experience, I'm just trying to stay ahead of my warrants. Kidding, of course. She races MTB in the summer and races Zwift in the off season. I have a 32-mile mountain bike race coming up in July and an 84-mile bike MS ride coming up in August. We love to hear that. TTT racing with Cryogen has been an amazing chapter in her life with many fond memories. Everybody, including my wife, is supportive and full of awesome sauce. Had a mountain bike accident in 2020 of August where she got to see what my shin bone looks like. Ooh, ouch. Man, if anyone was curious, I was on the mend and was able to begin Zwifting and riding gravel bike in late September. From what we're hearing here. But then it was involved in a serious car accident on October 3rd. Boy. The car was forced into a pole going about 40 miles per hour. We're very glad that you are all right. Fortunately, both survived, but the healing process is still going on. Thankfully, the physical therapy ended in February 2021. I've been back on the gravel, MTB, and Zwifting, but I lost most of fitness that I previously had gained from Zwifting prior to accidents. Oh, wait, this is supposed to be a fun fact. Fun fact, I love crazy socks for biking. That is a fun fact also, though. Leslie, that you are on the mend. It's also a fun fact that you are part of this awesome team that is super supportive. Really, really great to hear. So keep on hammering on and killing it out here today as you are. They are bringing it in to the final few stretches here, and it does look like they will be taking 7th on the day, barring any major changes. So thank you so much for all the information. Give a shout out, everybody, to Cryogen Khakis. And this is a special team in a way because they all have had some sort of physical struggles to overcome to continue on with their fitness journey. And this is one of the teams, I think, in one of the situations where you can see that, the shared reality of pressing through, getting through something, that's kind of like the essence of a team time trial. And you can see that narrative play out in the race itself, as well as the shared experiences of all these riders together. Like they are doubling up. It's like they're going to go and play out the reality of like, okay, we all got this stuff going on in our life that we're overcoming. Now we're going to go do this physical sport, this physical event that we're going to represent that in and also get healthier while doing it. So shared suffering and taking up each other's burdens. Absolutely awesome to see as Beep Beep hammers away on the front here with the Roadrunners. Moving our way backwards, we've got Engulf, who are currently sitting in that second place, still battling with Valhalla. TBR just a little bit ahead of them. They're sitting in that 6th place, trying to battle it out with our featured Cryogen team there. Moving backwards, it is going to be TFC Hurricane in 4th. I do believe they were caught by Engulf, and that is why they're behind at this point. We'll see if they can bring back any time. They are in a heated battle here with Z Sun Nebula, 40-29, just a little ways back, as you can see. We'll keep on moving our way on through, though, as we want to definitely make sure we highlight each and every team. Now, Z Sun Nebula only started with 3, and yet they still are sitting in 5th place overall, as you can see here. So really solid effort from these 3 riders here. M. Hardy, Sadiq Stowe, coming out of South Africa, just off the back here, needs to bring things back, 2.9 watts per kilogram. This is where it gets really on the edge, but as you can see, they were just coming off of that downhill. And the cool thing about Zwift is, just like in real life, you find yourself on the back and you get a downhill, the draft increases, and you can really easily get right back on without too much of an effort. Just like Stoll's going to carry some speed through, perhaps. Hardy, no, staying toward the front. No, there we go. It's 2.2 now. Backing off a little bit. That's going to slow them down just a tad, perhaps, unless it is his turn. It looks like Hardy's trying to fight for the front of this at this point. Don't want to do too much of that. As you can do see, it does slow things down a little bit. You've got to judge the avatars and make sure you're exactly where you ought to be. I'm not sure these two are communicating too much, as they are completely fighting for the front end as they're matching watts instead of really keeping anything steady. They're going to end up dropping Sadiq a little bit because of that press on. And Hardy now to the front. It looks like 3.2 watts per kilogram for that Z Sun team. We will be jumping in with our Viennas in just a moment. The leaders in the Vienna, or the first ones to go out in the Vienna class, have just completed their 8K. So we will have some times coming in with them. Some teams that are super familiar are in with the Viennas for us today. I am seeing an Aeonian team. I'm seeing Team Rave. So we're going to have a lot of fun as we jump in with the ladies only race as we wait for the mixed men's race to finish up here in WTRL number 113 out on the Greatest London Flat. As we're in now with Z Sun. So moving our way backwards, though, some of the other teams that we haven't jumped in with, this is going to be another Cryogen team. And so is there, interesting to see, maybe not showing up on the leaderboard. Martin, you want to help me out maybe perhaps, as we do have a second Cryogen out here, hammering away, and perhaps that is why there was the 11 jump back from 7 to 11 there between Z-Sun and our Sumatran Rhinos. We'll keep moving our way backwards, though, and we'll try and get some times in for this second team. This is going to be the Robins. This is going to be the Robins for the Cryogen team. Having a solid ride, it looks like here. Does look like they may have brought back some time over the top of Z-Sun. And we'll see if they do start coming in on the leaderboard. The Rhinos here, though, they've been chasing down the Robins, and I have a feeling this has been time brought back between the Robins and the Rhinos at this point. So this is finishing things up strong. There's also the Spooky Blokes a little ways behind. I am hearing that there's a lot of riders in with the Robins. Perhaps too many started. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how things end up playing out here for the final results. Final results, we'll make sure to parse all of that as they come across the line. Sumatran Rhinos, as usual lately, absolutely dominating out here today. And in with Ryan Aparanta Rodman. It's going to be Poirier as well as Peel. Now, 3.8, peeling off the front a little bit here. 5 riders left here for the Rhinos as they are bringing in a 37.35. Almost 2 minutes ahead of the next team at this point. 3.2 on the front. We're going to start having either a couple of questions will probably start coming in. How many riders, maybe a little bit more stacking from the C's down into that mocha, or the lattes into the mochas a little bit there. Grab a few extras to bring the power up because the Rhinos are really walking away with this one as of recently. They're going to let Ryan go as he cannot hang on any longer as they start to ramp up their final little sprint to the line. The Robins here looks like they may be getting caught. Z-Sun are about to finish up their ride with their 3 riders still holding on strong to that 5th place overall. I'm hearing, so I have a feeling that there may have been a little bit accident on sharing the pass. I have a feeling there was an accident there. 14 riders that signed up with the race pass, I think, across some of the Cryogen with the Robins. So perhaps an accidental sharing of the pass there the wrong ways, but it'll get sorted hopefully on the sign up. Peel now looks like they're going to make the catch right at the end. The Robins trying to sprint away. Their time will come on through eventually. Rhinos now finishing up, and it's going to be the Spooky Blokes, the last ones out on course to finish up as well. Good to see all of our mochas today. Always awesome to feature every one of the categories. We're going to jump on in with the Viennas now in just a moment, as we are going to start getting the riders here coming across with when they do come across the finish line, we do end up in the pens like this a little bit, just so everybody's or not in the pens, but in the aftermath of everybody finishing. And as we do, we're going to see if we can jump across over to the ladies here, as we are in with one of my favorite teams, and they've been providing a whole lot of sock power for us as of recently, and for my in real life racing. They've been spotting the sock power that has been out in the lands of Wisconsin here, and it's going to be Beth, Claudia, Deb, and Archer, as well as Mandy from the team Aeonian. Always really great to see them. And there was recently a feature for Team Aeonian actually over on World of Zwift. Make sure to go check that out as well. Great little look to the inside of this team and what they are all about. As we do look to bring up some more information about them, we'll start bringing in some of our splits as they do come on through. We'll go ahead and go through, though, the first part of the splits. This is the splits for the espressos. We'll just walk our way through them for anybody who is watching across for some of the other categories. It is currently CSO I Race Like a Girl, 11:28. Cryogen RDT Renz there coming through at 11:49. That's going to be a battle. Good to see a little bit of a challenge there coming in from Cryo up against Sisu at the top level with the women there. Sox Watts Aero Unicorns, 11:51 in a hot battle there with the Cryo DT team. And then BBB coming on through for a 12:13. The first one's out on course for the Vienna Espressos. In the Vienna Frappes, Sox Watts Odd Socks there with the 12:03 Evo Comets right now at the 8 kilometer mark at 12:32. Tugas Prisas 12:33. HDR Mizans and Aeonian Bravas. They are in here right now with a 12:52. In the Lattes, Crush Pod Atom Racing Team Electrons, and Cryogen Roadrunners. That is the situation right now. And then it is the Viennas, and this is what we're covering at the moment. It is going to be at the top spot are the Meteors currently also. Interesting to see because Evil Meteors, they went out first. They were the slowest seated coming in, but they pulled off a 12:46. And at the 16K, they also have a 24:57. So having a really good day here, Evo. Rave, Euro C coming in with that 13:20 angular speed there, 13:26. Kirchner Vienna Latte 13:38. Just a little bit behind then BWB. Followed up by Live by Cycling there, 13:44. Aeonian Chica Locas there, BRT Inferno Kittens. It's going to be Z-Sun Hydra Hot Flush, and then Z-Sun Quasars. So the Aeonian Chica Locas is who we're looking at right now, 13:46, battling very closely but with Live by Cycling. That's the current situation out on course for these Viennas. Let me see if perhaps we can some of the names coming on through here. I'm not sure for broadcast if we're gonna leave them out. We might leave it alone for now, but wondering if perhaps there's certain limitations that we need to set across the board for what can and cannot be thrown on for the reality of the broadcast for Platinum League here. But Aeonian Chicas, they went out for second actually from what I'm seeing, but Evo Meteors, interesting enough, unless it's we see Hot Flush though back there 1.0, Evo Meteors with 1.0 next to them. Maybe that's supposed to be an 11 there. I have a feeling for the Meteors. Maybe they just jumped the gun to get out on course. Not positive. Hot Flush, it looks like maybe a no start or haven't hit their 8K yet. Quasars as well. We'll have to wait and see as this team with the Chicas looks to hold off Z, Sun, Hulk, and the rest. So coming out of Iceland, it's going to be Hulk hammering away here at this point. Keen now making way to the front. This looks like it's a very international team here at this point, actually. Across the board, it's going to be USA, Great Britain. We've got Iceland involved. It's also going to be Germany. And that's actually something with Z-Sun that we tend to see a lot, it seems like. Very international team across the board. Lots of country flags, a lot of times mixed in amongst all the team members, which is always really great to see. Sometimes I wonder how they do when it comes to being able to communicate. I also wonder if a lot of these teams, as they do get mixed in with people from all different countries, if there's a little bit of language learning going on with that. I mean, I know in the Pro Peloton, because you tend to have, at the top world tour level, you tend to have a lot of different countries represented languages, and you do tend to pick up a lot of language as you start to interact with people on a regular basis. This is more of a weekly basis, obviously with the TTT, WTRL, TTT, but I have a feeling that a lot of these riders, as you get into the ZRL as well, and you start training together on the Zwift platform, most likely starting to pick up a little bit of language learning. At least I would definitely be looking to do so. We are seeing Gordon Slow coming in saying, push in, Rhino. We want that record. I'm hearing from Sloan. I'll have to wait and see if they're able to pull that off, actually. I could probably see an update here on the course records. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. Martin, can I confirm that this new course record that we say coming in from the Rhinos at this point at a 48:21, is that actually from them?
Sorry, I was busy sorting out your names. Say that again.
So we're looking through here, and this looks to be an updated list here. And the Sumatran Rhinos in the featured category we just did pulled off a 48:21. Absolutely flying.
Yep, no, absolutely flying. They do have that record as it stands at the moment.
So that's
a few
what
checks
happened.
go on, but
yeah. A few checks go on. Gotcha. A few checks need to happen, everybody. But at the moment, we were able to. They were able to pull that off. We're hearing from Gordon Slow. Love it, the Z-Sun. We're hearing from Euro Cycling Trips as well. Good to see Euro Cycling Trips hanging out in the chat. And from what Euro Cycling Trips is saying, Love the Z-Sun international element, as well as isn't always easy, but even Google Translate helps. It's part of the fun. And so obviously it's riding in with Z-Sun. Are you riding for Z-Sun? I would like to know, actually, Euro. Or just in your experience as well with another team out there hammering away. I'm going to go ahead and check through the chat. If anybody's out there wanting to interact, let us know. It's pronounced Kaik. Kaik we're seeing from Jumto. Jumto, thank you. As Kaiks. Kaiks is what it's going to be. Why is that? Where is that from? What is that? What language is that even from? Is that English? I don't think that's English. I have to wait. The best bike we're hearing in from Stephen R. Or, Stephen, the best bike on this course. Look, I am at this point completely convinced around the Venge with 858s. I'm totally sold on that being almost the best bike all around, unless you're on a major climbing course. The only courses I would say maybe not is like a Three Sisters or a punchier, a little bit longer climbs, but they aren't necessarily full on mountain courses. So, I'm just think that the reality of how much you get out of the 858s, like the Surrey Hills, that would be a tough one. I might go with a Tron then at that point, or something along those lines that can climb. Canyon with some aero wheels, something along those lines. So, but otherwise, 858s on this course, 100%. I'd go Venge 858s and just hammer the speed, get a good draft. That would be my take there. Steven might already be out on course, and he's way too late actually at this point. We'll have to wait and see if he was able even to get that though. And Paul Buckland's saying Venge 858 in this course all day long. And I have to agree with you 100% there, Paul. 100%. Andy Bev says, well done, Mocha's. Hot work, Andy Bev. Good to see you, Andy, as always. Long time. You were a long time racer in the world of our Zwift suffering out here. As the ladies make their way around course, Z-Sun, Aeonian battling it out. Right behind Z-Sun, though, it is going to be the BRT. I always love the Kittens. They are killing it right now as they chase down the Z-Sun team just ahead of them. So is this actually going to be the Inferno Kittens? Perhaps that's bringing in from another team. We have to wait and see. As it is going to be the Inferno Kittens. So currently sitting in 5th place, 26:36, 3 seconds back from Kirchmer Vienna Latte. So this is so close. What great racing we have right now in this women's category. Now, Evo Meteors are kind of walking away at this point at that 16-kilometer mark. So Evo Meteors, 25 minutes at that 16K mark. But Angular Speed, 26:13. BWBS Helmet Sisters, there's 26:31. So that's only going to be a gap of about 17, 18 seconds now. Kirchmer Vienna Latte, 26:33. We've got BRT Inferno Kittens, 26:36. And then Aeonian Chica Locas there, 26:39. Only a 6, 7, 8 second spread between 3rd to 6th place. So this is going to be a battle. BWB, Kirchmer, BRT, Aeonian, all in it for a podium spot, actually, between that 39 up to that 31 seconds there. And now, did we just put another one in the middle there? Yes, we did. Live by Cycling. The Owls come in at 26:36 as well. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way battle right now. For 3rd place, podium spot on the line. There's no holding back at this point, ladies. You've got to sacrifice everything, whether in watts, suffering, or even riders at this point. Get across that line as quickly as you possibly can, because it is a 5-way battle for the podium. Even 2nd place is within striking distance as Angular Speed are trying to make their way over the course. They started from the 6th seed. They're going to be 2 groups back from here. Here's BWB, as you can see, hammered away. They're currently in that 3rd with that 26:31 right now. Hammering. Now, moving our way backwards just a little bit. This is going to be Angular Speed, and this is the team that I was just talking about. But they only got 4 left now. English Speed, they were in second place, but now they're losing riders so quickly here. That second place is definitely up for grabs. GS looking to hang on, 172 beats per minute. They may have overcooked the goose here at this point. Chan now trying to get back on terms with Zoller. Larissa's there as well. 4 riders left right now. KC looking to chase them down, 17 seconds back, and it's quickly maybe going to be coming back because look at this. 4 riders left. They were going really slow, reorganizing as they hit into the Surrey Hills climbs right now. 58 seconds up. They've closed a little bit down to BWB here, but they lost time because BWB are 57 ahead. That tells me that they were almost matched now at this point for second place. If you think about it here, everybody, look at the time gaps, right? 26:13, 26:31, but they were matched on time just a moment ago. Now it's only 5 seconds. So I think that's going to be closer to a 26:31 versus a 26:26 or so actually. Now obviously their time through 16K doesn't change. But I think coming through at the 24K marker, I think we're going to be a lot closer to something like 5 seconds. But it's coming back a little bit. It looks like English Speed now starting to pick things up. 52 as you can see as they make their way through this next section of course. They are starting to climb really well. It looks like bringing some time back from BWB. Moving our way backwards here, this is going to be the KC team, and they are still in it. The Vienna Latte team here making their way over the top, and it's going to be Lana now up into 4.5. Nicole coming on through. It looks like, no, it's going to be Dominique actually. Now, at this 18K mark, they need to get it back organized together here. 4 riders is all they need, but they've got to slow down a little bit. Nicole coming across with Manuela. Nicole there as well, hanging on with Manuela on the wheel. Rave is chasing them down in hot pursuit at this point, and they look way more organized now as Rave Euro C, they take over at the 16K mark with that 25:39. We've still got teams to come through. Z-Sun Quasar as well as Rave are starting to heat it up. It's dance party time here with Nets now on the back. I do believe they did catch the Owls out there as the Owls are just behind them and the gap is opening up. A lot of Rave ladies actually here left in this group here. It's going to be Farmus here as well as Christoph, excuse me. And then on the front, Bambust. Now, with a little bit of a push coming out of Belgium on that 858 bike. Great bike selection. Look at, this is making Anna proud. Even selected a Pinarello. This is about as good as it gets. Now, is this across the board? No, it's not. But Emma's here. She's got the gloves. She's got the Mavic with the yellow there, matching almost on the spot. Definitely matching the bike there. I mean, this is as good as the Fashion Police get almost here. Matching red on the sleeves with the helmet there. I mean, this is super solid right now. When it comes to the look, they are being chased down, it looks like, by the Owls now. Now coming on through, it's going to be Christoph here. Backing off a little bit. 3 riders. Colby, Tyjacine, Nets, they're struggling. They've got to let those 2 riders on the back go. They can't let that 3 seconds come back here at this point. Colby, I think, and Tyjacine now to get on terms. I think Tyjacine's going to be the next rider to be let go, perhaps. As Colby, it looks like here, 2.6 watts per kilogram, pushing on. It's right there, 140 beats per minute. Interesting enough to see here. But Nardine, now to the front. They can't finish with 3. They need 4. 1 rider's got to come back. At this point, they've got to... Maybe those 4 behind are going to get organized and snowball effect. That may be what's going on here. As we do see Farmers here pushing on through. Tygerson now 6 watts per kilogram. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. They've got more riders. I think they know that they can get together, work together. This is a very good tactic, actually, as long as they can really make it happen. Tygerson now 6 watts per kilogram. She's going to pull on through, and this is going to be the regroup. What a move here coming from Rave. C Euro. The Danish rider now up into 4.8 and gets across with that slingshot from the rest of the team. What a move. As you saw that happen right in front of our eyes, actually, here. Colby now looking to come across. Live by Cycling here. Back on the wheels, though, almost. And watch out. Here come the Owls. Van, Becky, Arlene, Elaine, Susie, Cindy, and it looks like that's going to be at Kate's there as well. Hammering away. Good job by Live by Cycling. And were they passed earlier by them, or are they catching them is going to be my question as the Owls continue on. They're currently in 7th place, 26-36, waiting for these 24-kilometer markers. At this point, going to get a little bit mixed up here between them. Keep on moving our way backwards, and we'll move our way forward in just a moment. This is going to be the other KC team. And this is the VL1, Vienna Latte 1 team. Vienna Latte 2 is just ahead, I believe. And I am not seeing Vienna Latte 1 in the list. Let's see if we can get them updated. Hot Flush, I think a no start there for them. Z-Sun, I believe this is going to be the Hydras or the Quasars. We'll have to wait and see which ones these are. As they're making their way into their climb onto the surge, 18.4. They're battling out with their sister team, it looks like. Quasar and Hydra both in 9th and 10th place at this point. And so that is all of our teams that we have looked through for the women's Vienna at this point. We're going to keep on, let's go ahead and move our way up, though, back to hopefully the front end of the race. Give us a good idea of where things stand between everybody and kind of give that finish line. And this is going to be, that was Quasar that we were looking at just a moment ago at the back of the pack here at this point. So as we look to try and get in with the front end, we're trying to find lanes. We don't want to click around too much here as can get a little junkated, but we'll go ahead and move our way forward this way. As we find a Kirchner Cycling, Vienna Latte 2. Back in with Angular Speed. They dropped down to 3rd place as Rave Zero took over at the top. BWB, as you can see now, still in that battle. Now, again, this battle for 3rd, still heating up. Evo Meteors, 38-25. Yoni and Chica's there, 40-36. Currently in 2nd. But the reality is that Rave C Euro are having an amazing ride out there. So they are most likely going to take over that 2nd place. So the battle for the podium is for that 3rd place. Yoni and Chica's come through with a 40-36. Now they were at 26-39, which was the slowest time amongst that 6-way battle. 26-36, 26-36. As you can see, BRT Inferno Kittens Live by Cycling. 26-31. BWB, Angular Speed were there with that 26-13. And then it was 26-39 from Yoni and Chica's. But they come through with a 40-36. We'll see how that ends up playing out amongst those other teams. Start getting a better idea as things start to pan out in the back end of this course at 24K. As we look at the Hydras coming through, they had a 27-23, getting their Quasar team actually getting the better of them. But Quasar struggling out there today, it looks like, at 26-44, a little ways back. They were the fastest team coming in. Doesn't look like so today. BRT Inferno Kittens now, here they are, and they were the team at that tied with Live by Cycling. So that's the battle playing out right now with them currently in 8th place on the board. We'll see if that updates, though, and they're able to jump up into that spot that Ioni and Chica Locas took over. And this is going to be the Chica Locas. They're going to be the first team to finish actually out here today. Mandy taking over at the front. Actually, no, Beth here now at the front. 155 beats per minute here. 3.3 watts per kilogram at 34 kilometers per hour. They go down the Rivers Boulevard here. Claudio now taking over toward the front. Is the Archer now in the back? Always good to see. 170 beats per minute after she takes a pole on the front end of this race here today. Solid effort. Chat, what do you think is going to happen? Who is going to end up being the top or take the podiums down? As we see the Oni and Chicas, and this is not slowing down this battle. Absolutely loving to see this. As the Oni and Chicas came through now in 3rd place, though, because the Inferno Kittens. Now, what was it at the last checkpoint? At the 16K, the Chicas were at is it exactly the same, actually? It was a 5-second difference. Now it's a 4-second difference. So the Indian Chicas have brought 4 seconds back. 26-41, 26-36. Now it's 40-32, 40-36. Can they pull this off? The Inferno Kittens have more riders, though. in and amongst them. And now the BWB Helmet Sisters come on through at 40-16. So they have upped their game a little bit over the last 8 kilometers, and they take over the second place spot right now. We'll see if they can hold on. 40-32, 40-36. The battle for third is still up for grabs. Actually, the battle for second is still up for grabs as the Ionian Chicas continue on down this way. Ionian Lizzie Archer, Debbie Bowman here, Claudio Palacio, Beth Higgs. That is who we are looking at that's trying to hold on to a third place overall at the moment. Now, Claudio here, Palacio here, coming level 34 rider coming out of Colombia. She's been Zwifting, it looks like, for quite a while. We're looking back at August 1st of 2020. So interesting time to get involved, actually. She likes to do this Katrina's Ladies Social Ride. It looks like a very common ride for her, actually, out on Zwift. And start jumping into for the racing, though, it looks like, in the first Zwift Racing League back in October, season 1. And it looks like the WTRL TTT, maybe something a little bit newer to Claudio from Ionian. I'm looking through for some of the results here, and it looks like mainly jumped in back in April, it looks like. Oh, no, excuse me. My mistake. I'm seeing November and a few others out there. But me, as well as even October of 2020, actually. So, Claudia, I do remember, I have seen this name around quite a bit. I was questioning my judgment there for what I was reading, actually, as we have seen her plenty out on course. Ionian, absolutely loving one of these riders, Beth Higgs. Her profile over on Zwift Power is just gigantic Ionian race team banner, actually, which is absolutely awesome to see. Beth Higgs, level 30 Zwifter. She's coming out of the United Kingdom. She's a Masters rider. Level 30, hammering away. He also started racing last summer in June 23rd, it looks like. And jumped into the TTT, it looks like, right around last October as well. I'm wondering if and perhaps maybe some Zwift Racing League involved there. Looks like maybe not until season 2, perhaps. Yeah, actually, not until season 3, it looks like. For this Ionian rider, Beth Higgs. Looking through to see. Going to be a hard one tonight. Rafael Casa Kirta, good to see you. Hey, Gary, good to see you over in chat as well. It is going to be a tough one. This is one of the hardest courses, actually. Rafael, I definitely would have to agree with you. This course, because the nature of this course is one that makes it really difficult to get a. Well, if you got a lot of strong riders that are have some parity between them, you can almost always find a good rhythm. But the reality of the little bursty punches can make it difficult if you have riders that have a pretty good breadth between their power abilities or their watts per kilogram abilities, because the little bumps on here, as you can see this negative 2% gradient right now. Well, right before that, there was a 3% gradient, right? And you have that a lot. It's not really that flat of a course. It's called Greatest London Flat because it's the flattest sections, of the, it's all the flatter sections of the London course because you don't go out into the Surrey Hills, but you do everything besides the hills, right? And so there's a lot of little sections that go into those 3-4% gradients and back down over and over again. They come at you pretty consistently. And because of that, you find riders wanting to keep speed through a lot of sections of this course. And so because of the desire to keep the speed as high as possible and not slow down on a 3-4% gradient, you do get a rider maybe punching through, and that puts riders who maybe are 1 watt per kilogram, half watt per kilogram less on the back foot. If you can plan it out right, we were telling Steven a little bit earlier, he was looking for any tips. You can plan the poles correctly so that riders who are perhaps going to struggle, they could fade climb through those, or they can be set up and resting right before those sections. You put somebody on the front, or you have somebody pull through with a slingshot into those sections because it's going to be really important to keep speed because speed is still king. A lot of times, one thing I would say to people over and over again in the TTT, it is not going to be all about watts per kilogram. Your watts per kilogram still has to produce speed at the right times in the right places. Momentum is still going to matter. Uh, whether or not your avatars are slowing each other down is going to be a huge factor. Over and over again, I see people elbowing each other out of the draft. I see people maybe taking over on the front that are doing less watts per kilogram because their momentum that came through on a downhill. So you definitely have to time everything really, really well in order to take on each one. And it's almost more difficult on a course like this because of how often they come at you, and they're not as you can't perceive them quite as well as just a big climb in your face, right? You've got the Watopia reverse, Watopia forward. You've got maybe you're out on one of the KOMs that are out there that are super obvious. Well, in these sections, of course, it's not like you're really thinking too much about a lot of the climbs that are out here. So you're not anticipating them. You're not looking at it and going, oh, this is an uphill that's obviously coming up, and you don't set up for it maybe correctly. You don't plan for it with the team. So knowing the course well enough to know when you're going and who's going to be at the front through those little sections, it can gain you precious seconds at the end of the day. That's for sure. We are getting some of the updates coming on through here for the. This is actually from the boys there. Now back in with the ladies. 38:24, 39:09. It's going to be English speed there. 40:09 coming on through, holding on just barely ahead of BWBS Helmet Sisters. Then it's going to be the Kurtzmer Vienna Lattes with a 1 second difference between BWB. Live by second, 40:21. BRT Inferno, Kittens, Aeonian Chicas. Nobody is out of this just yet. We still had a solid. It's going to be 7 kilometers between that 24 mark and the 31 across the line. Aeonian Chicas may have been able to bring something back. We'll have to wait and see. Mandy now to the line. Lizzie Archer there as well. 4.0 watts per kilogram coming from her. 182 beats per minute as they look to hang on. And this has been such a tight race between all the way down to 8th place at this point. Absolutely awesome to see as they make their way across the line. And this is going to be Team Aeonian coming now through. Now it's going to be Needham here for BRT Inferno Kittens. There's only 3 riders left. BRT Inferno Kittens fading backwards quickly because they've dropped off some riders now at this point. It's absolute mayhem out here for them because Aeonian kept it together. Now it's going to be Marshall that's got to pull her teammate back. Are they trying to finish together here? DK's got to come over the top too as well. BWB looking to make the catch, it looks like here. And this is absolutely a blow up here for BRT. They had a solid ride going, but it looks like a little bit of disorganization on the back end has caused things to go awkward now for them because they're trying to get it back together. Peniel's now on the front here. BRT 178. Can they start to ramp it back up? Looks like they're trying to finish with 5 riders at this point. And Marshall just barely unable to close it down. 2.5 consistently. DK at 3.0 behind her at this point. Maybe just take those watts to the front. A little bit of a punch. Can she pull through? Doesn't look like that's going to be happening now as Marshall now closes it down. And they're going to let DK go, I think, as she is just barely able to hang on. Now backing off, it looks like, as Marshall gets the pull here coming in from Needham. Needham's now going to bring them home, it looks like. And we'll see if the Inferno Kittens can hold on the 7th place. I have a feeling that the Aeonian Chicas are going to take over that next spot. And right behind them, it is going to be BWB. Might be making the catch before they even hit the line here at this point. It's Hammond now. Brings it on at 2.9. Black now maybe to the front. This is going to be the final sprint as the Inferno Kittens trying to keep it hot at the front end of the course here. Again, we are in with the Viennas at this point. And 38-24 with Evo Meteors completely dominating today. And been looking for them out on course. I'm wondering where they're at. I haven't actually seen them, but it says they only got 0.2 left to go for the kilometers. So interesting to see. We'll probably move our way backwards to see if we can find them out there. And Inferno Kitten's going to be finishing up. Peniels with the final sprint. 5.7 watts per kilogram, 189 beats per minute coming from the rider out of Belgium. And right on her wheel, Needham, Lloyd, and holding off BWB barely as they cross the line. Black now leading things out for the team for BWB. Lightvein, Roberts, Hammond, Hasselkus. Solid ride from them. Fourth rider across the line is what's going to matter. Casey here and the rest of the Z-Sun Hydras now right behind them. And Hydra with a 41.57 struggling on the day. It looks like a little bit. They are currently in 10th place with those times. A little bit of a sprint to the line here coming with them. Casey, Sandra, Karen. It's going to be Hulk, Keen, Freeburn. First four across the line is what's going to be matter. Deb here was the sacrificial line from Ionian. Going to roll across the line. Good to see. And solid effort here coming from Deb and the rest of the Ionian crew. Looking back here, it's the Angular Speed team. They were sitting in third place. Can they hold on to the podium? Or did BWB get it done? They also had Kurtzmer hot on their heels. I mean, there was a lot of teams battling it out with Angular Speed. Angular Speed, is that right? Only 3 riders left? Where is their last rider is going to be the question. Can they finish with 3? Because they started with 4? I'm not positive. I have to wait and see, get confirmation here from the man Martin himself here. But they are being chased here by KC. We'll see if they were able to hold on. What an effort there coming from Angular Speed. They may have lost the rider because I'm not even seeing any Angular Speed actually out here at all. And yes, the team of 4 need to finish with 3, so they have done well. Teams of 5 to 8 need to finish with 4. Thank you so much. That's coming in from Martin right now live over at WTRL. Nika now here from KC. Vienna Latte 2, the German. Now, Hammer away Nicole. They're coming out of Switzerland now to the front here. 182 beats per minute, 3.3 watts per kilogram. On that Tron bike. Nice cadence there, 96 RPMs. She starts to ramp things up to the line here. They did let go of 2 riders here, and that was the right move because they have gained a solid 9 seconds because of that here at this point with 4 riders left. Nicole, Anika, Anika, and Nicole, followed up by Dominique. Going to be the 4th rider across the line. Great job by Dominique there. Hang on, and they did gain 9 seconds because of that sacrifice of their other riders. As Nicole gaps them by a second, she's going to be the rabbit to chase. And now Rave C Euro making their way to the line. Always great to see Rave out on course. I wonder if we've got a little bit of Rave music here for you, as they're going to bring us in with a little bit of the usual dance party from Rave. Always one of our favorite teams to see out on course as they bring it home. This is going to be it here for the C's and the Viennas here at this point. Rave now, Nordine, Colby, Hyggeson, Christoph now, 4 riders to the line, and Bamboo's always loving it. Great setup here from her as well when it comes to the Fashion Police. I'd have to say, making Anna proud. At least my opinion. Anna's definitely changed things up. I'd say that Live by Cycling also have a pretty good look going on here. Dance party in it as well. Lots of Trons. Kate there, though, with the 858. KC Vienna Latte 1 to the line now as well. And that is going to be almost all our teams. The last ones are going to out on course are going to be Z-Sun. But Z-Sun, I think, had a rough day. I think they're just out there. Maybe a bad start time. I have a feeling that this team may have started at an odd time or something. I mean, they were the fastest coming in, Quasars. So, interesting to see. 3 riders left here at this point. Maybe just getting it done and showing up on the day. Good to see Goat, Pastry, as well as Dreinhuizen out of the Netherlands finishing up today. We're going to start waiting for these times to start coming in. They still got a few kilometers to go. I want to say big thanks to Ray for always helping us out with a little bit of motivation and music on the day. DJ Alfonso is coming in. And we're hearing the bad thing is that lower end racers get dropped in class finish with 3 up cat and 1 correct. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why it's a team time trial, though. At the same time, though, BJ, it's more about the team and not the individuals here. So, getting the right riders all together and making sure that it's happening well. That's kind of just part of it. Euro cycling trips. Good to see you again. He's saying, love all the work you guys do with all this live coverage of events, the Zwift WTRL and the course. There's no worries there. We love it too. We've been at it. If you haven't done so, I've actually gone through some of the old content Originally, I started up my YouTube a little bit. Again, if you haven't checked it out, make sure to head on over and check out some of the racing action that's happening over the summer. We're heading obviously into the summer months. We're into the summer months already, and lots of racing going on outdoors. We'll chat about that actually in just a minute here as these riders do start to finish up. But plenty of content's been going on for quite a long time. Uh, And Martin, Martin, you want to come on in with a little bit of chat about that? I mean, I'd love to hear we like to get the inside scoop a lot of times on some of these things, and it's always good to hear about why we're the different reasonings and stuff behind the categories. Because I think everything that WTRL makes a lot of sense. Martin, go ahead, Martin Crew coming in from WTRL.
Yeah, I mean, just mentioning with BJ Alfonso a second ago with his comments, it's not always the case. It's not always the high cats that are leading the team on the front four, front three, depending on the size of the team. We do have plenty of teams with no drop policies where they make sure everybody finishes. Bit of damage to time, but not always the case. We also get, take a Mocha team, you can have 2 Cs and 2 Ds finishing in the front four. That's just depends on the team. At the end of the day, the TTT is the ultimate push, where you're trying to keep up with higher category riders. You improve as a rider yourself. And even your stronger riders, they just take longer pulls at the front to get their full workout. It is a lot harder pulling at the front for 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever the team's using. So I thought I would answer that one.
No, I think it's a really good point that, excuse me, it's about the team together, and as long as it's within certain limitations that are set, I could see, it would be a struggle if you do get an upgrade, but I think at that point it's time to find maybe either a different team, or you have to find different team members if a few of the team members end up causing an upgrade, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the upgrades can also help because it's mixed teams. So if you try and put together a full team of nothing but Bs, or maybe not the best example, let's say a full team of nothing but As, it can be harder to make sure you've got the full 8 if that's what you're aiming for. Where you've got mixed categories, you get a couple of strong Bs in there with your As. The strong Bs will be able to keep up for most, if not all, of the course. So it makes the teams a bit more versatile as well. So you push the lower category riders. You're also pushing the higher category riders with the longer pulls and things like that.
absolutely,
So it works really well.
Last little kick here coming in from the Z Sun team. I think they struggled a little bit on the day. They were the fastest coming in, interesting enough, but not going to be the fastest on the day, it looks like today. But good on them for finishing up. And Drydenhuisen going to drop the rest of the team. Goat now, a little bit of 4.3, and getting a solid workout, which I think a lot of times is what this is all about. One other thing that, interesting enough, the TTT has been a staple for any of my athletes actually that I coach, to use actually for my coaching programs. The TTT is one of the best over under interval. Like, I could either schedule my athletes an over under, like 4x12 over unders or more or something, or I can just say sign up for the TTT, meet some cool people, push each other, get more of a workout because you're not alone and you're having to hold on to these wheels over and over again, and it's more dynamic. It causes more muscle confusion. So definitely something that's pretty awesome. We are waiting for results to come on in. As soon as they do get in, we will bring them on in. A little bit of updates on everything that's going on. We've got the Zwift Classics coming up. July 12th is going to be the first. I hope I got that. It's going to be right. Then it's going to be the Yorkshire Grand Prix. I actually just got done. 13th. Thank you, Martin. And July 13th is going to be the first one. We will have coverage of the classics here at Yorkshire Grand Prix. That is going to be 3 laps for the A's and the B's of the UCI Harrogate course. It's going to be 2 laps for the C's and the D's. Tuesday, the 13th. Men's and women's are separated 10 different race times in order to race those. We'll be looking to try and cover the European races, and then I'm going to see if maybe perhaps we can also get some coverage of the Down Under races as well. No guarantees on that one, but we'll definitely be here covering the European races. Tuesday the 13th, Zwift classes are kicking off. Be on the lookout for the rest of those throughout the summer. 8 races, summer and into fall a little bit there. So 8 races, going to be absolutely awesome. Classic courses with classic moments. There is one of the best stories you could ever watch. But I think we do have some highlights maybe coming up for this on the World of Zwift. But if you want to go back and watch the Fiat's Magazine race that's here on Zwift Community Live, just search up Fiat's Magazine race. It was a live final. Lionel Viasen from Canyon ZCC pulled off something I literally have never seen before, and I have never seen again after that day as of yet. If you haven't seen that, it is one of the most epic moments of race history. It's on the UCI Harrogate course, and you can kind of learn a little bit there from that. Definitely go check that out. Other things that are going on, there's a lot of in real life racing happening as well right now. Obviously, lots of teams taking a little bit of break in between the Zwift Racing League season 3 up into season 4. So that's why we got the classics there. Kind of just put some cool stuff in between all of the different racing that we could have, just to kind of keep people interested and something to do still for your indoor training and racing, obviously, as well. If you didn't notice the latest update that just came out, there's some really good content over on Zwift Insider about it, as well as the Llama put some stuff out there as well, GP Llama over on YouTube. But if you haven't checked it out, there are now route badge confirmations actually on Zwift with little check marks when you do log into the game, as well as letting you know how long the lead-ins are, so there's no surprises. There's a ton of obviously content coming around the Olympic series that was going on, as well as be on the watch out for some new stuff happening around the Tour de France coming up as well. A little bit of hints there as too. So, all right, I think we do have results coming on in. Let's go ahead and see if we are all updated and ready to go across the men's and the ladies. It does look like the ladies are ready to go here. Let's go ahead and start in, though, with the men's races, as they are all done and finished. On the Doppio side of things, it is going to be the Cryogen Kestrels there with 38.52. They were in Zone 1. Cyrus Pose Classic also in Zone 1. Getting up early as they're mainly a U.S. team. 33 seconds back. Cryo DT Vultures there. 1 second difference between them and Cyrus Postcard. Evil Warriors come on through for 4th place. Zisan Hercules in 5th. Platinum League struggling on the day as World Elite Zwifters and Round the River Blair coming on through for 6th and 7th. Interesting enough to see. So it looks like some battles starting to heat up in the summer here from some of the other zones. In with the Espressos, Evo Espresso take it down at a 40-20. Then it's going to be Eat Dirty Steamers. They're coming on through for 2nd. Cryogen Gulls, 10 seconds back from them in 3rd. TSC Waffles, the Swedish team there, coming on through for 40-49 in 4th. Innovation Euro Aliens in 2nd. At 40-58. Innovation UFC. UFC Ultimate Fighting Champions. They're coming in for 41-16. Valhalla Mjolnir, 7th in 41-28. Adam Racing Team Nuclear in 8th. Team Dirt Diggler in 9th. Zisan Red Dwarfs, they round out the top 10 at 41-44. Very close racing again in the Espressos. In the lattes there, it's Dirt Time Chasers BC with a 41-18. Only 8 seconds back. Relentless take it down for 2nd. Aerodynamics in for 3rd. Then it's Adam Racing Team Photons in for 4th at 41-42. Evo Warlords 41-52 in 5th. Zisan Saturn 42-18 in 6th. R3R ACDC in 7th. It's going to be Eat Dirt 007 at 42-36 in 8th. Vikings Valgrind in 9th, followed up by Herd of Platypus. Always good to see Herd out there in 42-45 for 10th. In the Frappes, in the lattes, Viking Valhalla 43-44. Our Woolly Rhinos 43-54. That's 1st and 2nd. It's going to be Cryogen Emus in 3rd. All Platinum League. Dirt 2 got up early and took down 4th place so far in the day. Pwaka Wakas in 5th. And then it's going to be Vikings Mjolnir in 6th. Team Type 1 Lancets in 7th. Zisa Mercury in 8th. ZID Delta in 9th. And then it's going to be Cryogen Blue Cranes holding down for that 10th place spot. And in the mochas that we covered today, the Rhinos are charging hard. Platinum League at the top there. Engulf, loving the poster. Nice job today with that poster as well as they take down 2nd. Valhalla Dragvandel, they're in for 3rd. And then it's going to be Cryogen Robins. They held on for that 4th. They were not in the list actually there early on, so it looks like we were able to update things. Good to see that they took down that 4th with 51-21. Eat there, Troy. Wow, in for a tie almost. That is so incredibly close. It's within a second. TBR Renegades there in for 6th there. That was the battle for 5th. It was Zone 1 actually versus Platinum League. D-Sun Nebula for 7th, 51-51. It's going to be TFC Hurricane for 8th. Cryogen Khakis. Khakis? I think I got that right. As that was corrected in chat. 52-36. Herd of koalas! Chilling, eating the leaves. Good to see the koalas there coming in for 10th. And with the ladies, 43-28, Sisu I Race Like a Girl continue on with their domination throughout the summer. It's going to be Sox for Watts Aero Unicorns, 1 minute back, followed up by Cryo RDT Wrens in 4th, and BBB coming on through for, Cryo RDT Wrens in 3rd, and in 4th, BBB coming on through, 3:15 back for 4th. Vienna Frappe, Sox for Watts, Odd Sox, 46-13. 1 minute up, actually, from the Evo Comets. Going to be some Pluto, 6 seconds back for 3rd. HDR Amazons, 2:05. Followed up by Two Guys Brisas in 5th. Eonian Bravas in 6th. And WMZ Sapphires struggled hard on the day. 13-34. Everything they had to hold up. Maybe get mechanical, I'm not sure, but they needed 4 across the line. I have a feeling that's why, because I only see 4 there. I have a feeling something went down there, but that's the Sapphires there. Crush Pod, they've got the right kind of latte in summer. It's an iced latte. 48.02, that seems to be keeping them plenty fast coming out of Zone 8. Platinum League Crush Pod 2, looks like they can't keep up with the iced latte, keeping their coffee too hot. Platinum League, 48-17 in 2nd there. Adam Racing Team Electrons in for 3rd at 49-14. Z Scott Elba there in 4th for 49-56. Rockies there in 5th. Vegan Bees in 6th. It's going to be WTR Drafting Dinos UK coming on through for 7th. Hot battle between them for that 2-second difference there in 8th. Cryogen Roadrunners. And that's actually going to be the sister team to the Cryogen Khakis that we were featuring out there today, that Beep actually was running prior to handling it off. Great to see. In 8th place, Two Guys Farofias there in 9th, followed up by Rav CC. Is that going to be a Rave team? I think that's Rav CC in 10th for the latte. Vienna Latte. Evo Meteors, they walk away with it in the Viennas. Evo Meteors there with a 49-41. Rave C Euro with their dance party coming in, dancing in for 50-34 in 2nd. BWB Mountain Sisters coming in for 3rd. It's going to be Angular Speed there for 4th. It's going to be Live by Cycling 5th. It's going to be Kurtzmer Vienna Latte 2. Tied almost for 6th. The Ionian Chicas, just off it here. Less than a second difference there in for 7th. The Inferno Kittens, they struggled. We saw that in the final few kilometers, keeping it together, and they lost a lot of time with that disorganization. Coming in for 8th there. This can be 9th, just ahead of just ahead of them was the Ionian Chicas and BRT, but then Adam Racing Team Ions come on through for 9th there. 40-second difference between them and that. That can be 40? Yeah, about that. Coming in here between them and the Inferno Kittens. Z-Sun Hydra coming on in for 10th at 54 minutes. Let's see if we do have this updated here. WTRL TTT number 114. First time ever out on Ocean Lava Cliffside. Make sure to come and check that out. Well, that's cool. No course records next week, everybody. So if you want something new, jump on in with the TTT next week. Registration closes at 8 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central time on Wednesday. ZCL, we here will be covering the Doppio and Espresso, as well as the Vienna Espresso. We've got the Fast of the Fast next week on a new course, Ocean Lava, Cliffside Loop 2 laps. That's going to be really interesting, actually. If your team is keen to feature on Zwift Community Live, look out for details in your invite email. We'd love to have you. So that is going to be it for us today. Now, also, if you want to go and hang out with some people in real life that are a part of the Zwift community, there's a lot of awesome racing going on. Obviously, Pro Nationals. I know Team Legion are going to be at Nationals. I know that Project Echelon. I know that there are plenty of teams that are a part of the world of racing out on Zwift, at least here on stateside. I'm not sure about anything happening across the world. I just know what's happening here on the USA stateside. And lots of people from North America actually are going to be descending on these places here. We've got international talent actually coming here into Wisconsin as well. So definitely come and check that stuff out. We'd love to see you out there if you are local in real life. I'm actually going to go eat and get ready for my racing as well later tonight. So appreciate everybody tuning in, though. That's going to be it for WTRL number 113. We're on the Greatest London Flat. If you want to go ahead and watch the VODs back, they will be on our Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to hit those subscribe, notification bells, all of that stuff, and you can get updates on everything that is going on. Big thank you, as always, to WTRL. A huge thank you to all the racers. You're the ones who make this happen. And we will see you next week for number 114. Keep a watch out on those socials, mine as well as Dave's and WTRL's, for more and more announcements and everything that's going on out there in the world throughout the summer for us Zwifters. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As always, bye on.